Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. Sorry I started a little late. Got my thing all mixed up. I was doing a test stream to YouTube the other night. And since it was primary, I had the Twitch stuff turned off, but I remedied it. And we're gonna see what we can do. Testing 1, 2, 3. I think my audio is way too high. Maybe my mic is too low. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Gonna crank the mic up a little bit. Boop, bop, boop, bop, boop. There we go. And I'm gonna crank the music down a little bit. Boop, bop, boop, bop, boop. Testing. There we go. So this is the Funzie stream. Still haven't decided what we're gonna do tonight. Also, I'm testing out some new music. I did not make this music. This is Game Chop's music. And I've heard it's supposed to be freely available for streaming, so we'll see if YouTube hates me. I think the first thing I'd like to knock out of my list tonight is this character book. And then the stream might not actually go all night like it normally does, because I'm feeling a little under the weather. But I'm hoping that getting some stuff here done will kind of help me feel a little bit better, get my blood moving. So yeah, I think we'll finish the character book, and I think we'll paint this little puppy. This is for Asha, one of the characters in my game. There we go. So this is just some chipboard from a pizza box, cereal box. Slightly wobbly, but it gives some rigidity to this leather that is very wobbly and flexy. And I already used my Happy Planner puncher to get the cardboard punched out, but it's unfortunately not stout enough of a puncher. It's not thick enough either to get the leather in there and punch the leather. So we gotta hand carve these out. It's really not as bad as it sounds. Let's see. I'd worked it out on like the best way to do this when I was doing all of them before. Hey, Leah Bean. Welcome to the stream. We're making character books. I'm trying to remember how I did this. I think I did straight across last time. I ended up figuring out that this way was better. So you can poke through. Straight across. And you can come at it from the other side. Yeah, this red leather It's a little easier to work with than some of the other ones that I've messed with. I go through a lot for my players. I make a lot of stuff. Kind of getting stuck on that corner. There we go. So I used to cut out the stem first, but I'm thinking that, yeah, it's coming back to me now. Cutting out the top of the little mushroom here works out better. Once you cut out the stem, these little corners are tricky. You want to make sure you get all the way through. And this one here is going to be interesting because we glued in that extra little piece. So yeah, again, this is just made out of chipboard, which is like cereal box, pizza box, cardboard, and some leather scraps that I got from Hobby Lobby. Lurking during dinner. What you guys having for dinner tonight? Actually, I skipped dinner. I got off work and kind of conked out. That's normally what happens when I'm not feeling so fantastic. And once you get these cut out, we'll kind of go over them, clean them up a little bit, because there is a tolerance that you need to worry about with the leather. Otherwise, the discs won't sit happily inside there. Oh, this song gets me every time. I think this is from Pokemon X and Y. That was a really good Pokemon game. Bum 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 bum. Dun 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 dun. Nice. I love casseroles. Tell you what, when I was out on my own, I kind of got out on my own at a younger age than most folks. And with all of my single friends kind of getting all out on their own at that same age, I was one of the few of my friends group that actually knew how to cook. And so I would have friends over who were wanting a home cooked meal. And I had this little chart, this little casserole chart where it was like, grab a can of soup, it was like cans of soup, toppings, can of vegetables. Excuse me. And it was like a spreadsheet, almost like a column. It was like you pick one of them, slap it in the pan, take another one, slap it in the pan, you mix it up. You pour the topping on top of them, stick it in the oven for so long at such a thing, and you make a casserole. And it's pretty popular with my friends because I could get an actual home-cooked meal if they hung out at my house. So I ate a lot of casseroles, so they're kind of fond of them. I really like these disc journals. I actually use the one that I made for myself as a dungeon master a good long while, just for like other notes and stuff. Just because they're so versatile. And this one, I'm going to kind of tack it from the side. So this piece of leather, it had like a big gouge out of it, so I just took another piece and glued it in there side by side with it. It's probably not going to do too much, but I kind of lined it up over an existing hole, so I'm hoping that it will work well enough. So just gotta be a little careful with that one. We got to play in our dungeon delve last night. That was fun. That was interesting. We hadn't played in that game for, man, I think a couple weeks. I kind of felt a little off my game just because we hadn't been in there in a while, and my prep was really rushed that day. They ended up meeting some lizard folk, and because Mac is a lizard folk. They ended up meeting some others in there and kind of befriending them, and Mac would be Chris's character, if you weren't aware. Leaving. And they got into this big chase with a manticore. That manticore has been like the bane of their existence this whole adventure, or at least since they've gotten into like one of the lower levels. It was just supposed to be like a regular monster, but it ended up, being a part of some of the random encounters, and it was like a little overpowered or like a little over-leveled compared to their current level. So it's kind of been a thorn in their side. Alright, now let's cut out these stems, and then we'll clean it up a little bit. And when you're cutting these ones, I actually like to angle it, like cut the knife in a little bit on each side. because it can be a little tight. This leather's weird to cut. I don't know if I've ever messed with leather outside of these character books. Because it's like, it's so soft and like fibrous. But then the on one side, but then on the other side it's like really hard and smooth. So it's like you're cutting through it and it almost feels like you're not doing anything. Almost like you're scraping at a bunch of fur. And then you hit the other side and it's like hard and you gotta push through it and cut it. All right. Flatten that one out a little bit. Now that we have the general shape and the bulk of the material cut out, we'll just kind of come through here again. Clean these up a little bit. Hey, Lucrum. Welcome to the stream. We got Leah Bean with us tonight. We're making a character book for Caleb's character. Did you get a new emote? I've not seen that one yet. Oh, nice. Well, I'm glad I did the recommended thing. Oh, I just see you pop up over on YouTube, too. Toasty. Is that from another channel or something? Did I literally just ask that and you already answered it? Word. You playing some games tonight? Went into the cardboard a little bit on that. That's actually probably not going to be a bad thing, though. Gotcha. Oh man, what's this song from? Is this Tifa's theme from Final Fantasy? Ah, yeah, it is. do. Do, 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 do. That's way too high for me. You want to make sure you get a nice sharp X-Acto blade when you do these. I just swapped mine out the other day, so it should be good. I believe Happy Planner makes like a single punch that's almost like a hole punch. I wonder if something like that would make a little shorter work of this. If I could get affiliate, then I could do like the little currency thing, and we could make a sing it reward for dropping not bits, but like channel points or whatever they're called. If I had channel points, what would we call them? What would we call channel points for this channel? Do I have clips turned off? I don't think I have them turned off. Let's see. Where would I check that? Stream info, maybe? No? Stream settings, possibly? Clip settings. Enable clips. There we go. There, it should be on there now. If you wanna, you might need to refresh, but it be there. I need to finish Octopath Traveler. I got like most of the characters' story arcs done, and I heard that there's like another big arc, or like a big thing with all of them that happens once you get all of their endings. I really liked Octopath Traveler. I thought it was a really clever way of doing the story. Like, I know a lot of people didn't like it, but as an adult gamer, JRPGs, like, they used to be my jam. I used to love JRPGs so much. Best game style or whatever in the world. But as an adult gamer now, it's like I don't have time to sink 70 hours into a story. And I thought it was really cool in Octopath how it was just like a bunch of smaller stories. And so you could like invest in the stories of the characters that you thought were interesting or cool, and like not worry about the ones that you didn't like. Get out of here. Leaving. If Chris is in there too, maybe he can weigh on this as well. But would you pay $200 for skins, like cosmetic items in a video game? And I don't mean like $200 worth of cosmetics within the life of you playing the whole game, but like in a single drop. Would you drop $200 for that kind of content, for cosmetic content? I still stand behind my that's fair. Because like, yeah, because if you were paid to play it, then you know it's like a return on your investment. But if it's not, if it's just like because you're playing the game, it's like you're not getting a lot of value back out of it. See, Lucrom, you got to think about your ROI. Otherwise, you're just throwing away money. Alright, so here's the character book. Let's see how we did. So Lucrom, it sounds like you need to start streaming the game to make that worth it. Oh, Lucrom, you're cracking me up, man. There we go. So I round these corners. It's a pretty simple technique. I just kind of hit it at a hard angle, or actually a rather gentle angle, and then I do that 2 more times, and then maybe cut off the corner once more. But there we go. I got a nice leather page, and it looks like it moves okay. If you don't cut the stem deep enough or wide enough, then it'll bind up on here. Well, hey, maybe you could put that $200 towards some gear to start streaming. You could start putting it away towards a gaming PC fund. And it probably wouldn't take much to, to get a decent gaming rig. I want to say I saw somebody on Part Picker the other day that had like, a decent gaming rig for, I don't know, $400 or $500. I said $400 or $500, not 200, not 1K. Hey, but serious talk, like real talk, if you were serious about wanting to try streaming and stuff, I'd help you make it happen, man. It's 1/5 of the way there. I'd even help you set up OBS. Really, to start streaming, I think all you'd need is like a good headset and maybe something for a face cam and just like a dedicated space to do it. I mean, not really. I mean, yeah, it is, but again, it's an investment. You know, if streaming is something that you really want to do, it's something that's going to, you know, it's something that's going to have like more value the more you use it to stream. It's also something that you're going to get a lot more value out as time goes by, rather than cosmetics. I mean, I'm using my MacBook here, but, oh, hey, NMCC. We're working on a character book for Caleb. We already got 1/2 done. It's a nice little leather binding. We're also trying to talk to Lucrum about whether it's worth it to spend $200 on cosmetic items in a video game. And I think the consensus so far, according to Leah Bean, is that she probably wouldn't unless she was streaming the game, and then she would start talking with them, you know, to see if it would actually be worth the investment. And that brought us to talking about Lucrum putting that money towards some gear to start streaming with. And he seems to think that a gaming PC is very expensive. Okay, Leah Bean, if Chris is there, I think we need him to weigh in on this. Oh, I love Terrytown music. Ba-dum, 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 do-do-do-do. No way, man. But if you get a gift card, go for it. And that doesn't mean spending $200 to buy yourself a gift card so that you can go for it. Do 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 do. Oh, they're not doing the Goron trumpets in this song. It's fine. He's not. Imagine abusing mod powers. This leather's so hard to cut. Ooh, Leah Beam be flexing. Man, I need to make some emotes. I got some pretty good pixel art skills. Could make some cool emotes. Pixel art's actually one of my favorite hobbies. So I've been on the fence about it for a little bit, and I actually haven't told ANMCC about it yet. But I really want to get the Skyward Sword HD remake that's coming out this Friday. It's like I already have it on the Wii U, and I could play through it on the Wii U, but man, I really want it on the Switch. They've also done a lot of really cool stuff to streamline it. They've made all of Fi's like interruptions optional. So she just kind of pings down in the corner when she has something to say, and then you can tap and listen to her instead of her automatically coming up. I know, Switch is so much better. And I really want it on the Switch. It'll also be nice to have like a Zelda game that I haven't played in a long time to go through this coming year before Breath of the Wild 2 comes out. Man, this playlist is knocking it out. Dire Docs, are you kidding me? I love it. This is one of those games that I would low-key, like, open up the level and just leave it on all night in my room to, like, listen to while I would sleep. Oops. So Lucram, if you did have the money and got a streaming rig, what kind of games did you stream? I know we've talked about how Apex is pretty like it's like your jam right now, but it's also like really saturated. So the trick about that is, since it's on Switch, I would need some way to ingest HDMI into my streams. Right now I just use like this camera. You can actually see it over here. Nope, you can't because my mic's in the way. It's just an iPhone. So I need some sort of capture card to do it. Hey, I'm tired and I can't go to sleep. Welcome to the stream. We're making a character book for a D&D character in my group. Yeah, I'd need to get a capture card. You know what? I bet $200 could buy me an Elgato capture card. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Oh, it's your alt account. You mean your alt account? I wouldn't mind streaming Skyward Sword. I actually thought about, like... Hey, thanks for joining the stream. I'm tired and... Can I go to sleep? Thank you for complimenting Lucam. He is literally the best mod I have ever had in my Twitch stream. Bar none. Absolutely the most fantastic mod out of all of the mods that I've ever had on my Twitch stream. He's super chill. A little misguided sometimes, but he means well. But yeah, I've thought about streaming some games. Doing like a game stream every now and again. Kind of hang out, play some games. I'd love to have somebody to like chat with while I do it though. Zelda's kind of like my big, like the big game that I play. Like I will play every and any Zelda game. The problem with streaming like Breath of the Wild 2 or like a new Zelda game that I haven't played before is that once that game comes out, I'm probably like might even like take a week of vacation and just play it every evening. If I don't take a week of vacation, I'll at least like play some every evening, and I don't know if I want to Twitch stream every single evening. I've got a family and living spaces that are shared. And that could kind of be interrupting to life. And I don't know if everybody wants to see a Twitch stream every single evening. We've talked about this, Lucrum. I am too old. I'm too old to be competitive and worth anything in first-person shooters. I do better with games that do not rely on twitch reflexes. What in the world is this? That is not... Looks like I'm... Yeah, there we go. Looks like my playlist didn't loop. Watch this video get flagged for that 5 seconds where it popped off onto another song. Hey Luke Brown, how much is an Elgato? I'm curious now. With the Switch being portable and all, I could totally, like, just slap a dock in here. $100? That's it? Like for a decent quality one that'll pull in full 1080p at 60 FPS? Or is that like the baseline one? Dang, I'll need to put that on my Amazon wish list. See, man, if you wanted to start streaming Switch games, you could totally do that. Let's get you an Elgato. You could even borrow my streaming setup in here. Wow. It's been a long time since I've looked at them. They must have come down. Man, I really like Skyward Sword. It was totally like my favorite Zelda game out of all of them for a long time. I bet it'll be more stream friendly on the Switch too, now that it's gonna have like stick sword controls instead of motion controls. Like it has both of them. So you know you don't have to be like flailing all around. Although honestly, I did figure out how to play the game without standing up. One more. Let's clean this one out a little bit more. Luke Rum, you could do one of those streams where you like play weird crappy games that you find in the eShop. and then goof about them. Now these character books covers, like, they're not the best quality in the world. Like, I'm not wrapping the leather around the outside. They're just straight flat glued. But they last decently enough. Like, this is one that I did for myself like a long time ago. I didn't even use chipboard. I used like a manila envelope. And the glue's starting to come off. But it's like, I can just slip a little bit more glue in there and it, you know, it's good enough. Does what I need it to do. And if you're only using it like, you know, once a week or so. Freddy Fish. Nice. That was like one of those Goodwill edutainment games, right? Like one of those point and click adventures for young kids. Pajama Sam. Magic School Bus. Kind of break it in a little bit. Yeah, look at that. He's got a full-fledged character book. And if you've never seen one of these before, these disc-bound journals are fantastic. They're nice because you can just like pull these sheets out because the sheets are mushroom punched. So you can reorganize them, you can move them around. He actually had a previous character, his ranger, who died a couple games ago. So what we'll do is we'll just take his character sheet out and we'll just like put him in the back. I've already printed off a new character sheet for him. Like some new character pages for him. Putt Putt. PBG did a big series on Putt Putt. Looks like he's already got his stats in there. Rogar. He's currently playing a red Dragonborn Paladin. No, not Paladin. Cleric. Death Cleric, I think. He doesn't have everything in here yet. But yeah, he was Death Cleric or no, Grave Cleric. Grave Cleric. But yeah, the idea behind it is that he's a red Dragonborn, and so he like cremates the bodies with his fire breath. Nice. Well, it's good to have that done and finished. And if you notice, right there, that one is the one that had the hole in it. There was like a hole in this piece of leather, and I lined it up with this hole and like stitched in a little piece. Right there. And it's just living there nice and happily, glued to the cardboard. And even if it falls off, it's like, it's just right there. You're not really going to notice it. Hey man, you know what? The 90s are really big right now. They're really retro. And if you could come at it from like somebody, you know, born in your generation, playing 90s games for the first time, I bet a lot of people would be into that. They'd have a lot of nostalgia for, they're like, oh man, I used to love these games, or man, these games are so crappy, but I loved them back then. And getting like a new person's, like a younger person's take on crappy 90s games. Alright, there's that. Let's do a little bit of painting. What time is it? 10:03. We're halfway through. Let's see if we can get this little doggy painted. People don't like Megalovania anymore. Honestly, it's probably the weakest out of all of these songs. Somebody was asking me at work the other day if they should play Undertale. I think it was Tyler. And I told him, I was like, 2 things. Thing the first. Yes, you should play Undertale. And if you play it, like, go in as cold turkey as you can. Like, don't read anything about it. Just get it, fire it up, play it. And then thing the second is do not participate in the, or like keep a measured distance in the community, because the community is interesting, to say the least. They are very much an internet community. And he was like, that's fair. Sometimes I feel like the community, like Undertale's community, does not play the same game that I played. You know, we could probably, no, I was gonna say we could prime this Hydra. But I still need to fill all these gaps. We'll save that for Thursday's stream. Save that for the monster manual. Yeah, they're pretty, they are their own beast. But man, Undertale itself as a game, it's a fantastic game. It's so good. Alright, we're gonna paint this Dogi. I need to check out Discord real quick because I talked to Grace about what colors she was wanting it. Looks like it was in the Lost Minds chat. All right, do. She said what colors she wanted it, but I'm having a hard time finding her. There's a lot of chatter in here to scroll through. Dark gray with a white tip on the tail and white on his paws and a white stripe down his nose. Purple armor with black accents. Okay, so that's going to be the same as her mini. Bam. Yeah, FNAF's kind of an interesting game. So she's got like black and purple. And then he's going to be gray. Dark gray with a white tip on the tail and white on his paws and a white stripe down his nose. Alright, so let's take a look at him. We've got these. You know what? I've also got one of these that's already painted. Where did I put Dagger? I know he's in here somewhere. I need a better way of organizing these minis. Ah, there he is. He was a snake, he'd have bit me. Oh, that one's not magnetized. Interesting. Oh, that's way too recessed to mini, or to magnetize. The way that I do it now anyway. But I could figure something out. There's my blue tack. So he's kind of got these little armored strips across the back and then this cloth saddle. Man, I'd love to get her mini reposed and like riding on the back of this dog. Stream just froze for you? Still working for me. Might be your internet connection. Yeah, it's probably on your side. How cool would that be to have her, like, mounted on there? Alright, so this is a pretty simple guy. Let's do bone white. We'll use an off-white for the natural hue. And we'll get some black out. We might be able to just use gray. But this is kind of like a stony gray. And let's see, what else do we need? Purple. I think we mixed a custom purple for her. I think we did some of this. And then a little blue. All right, that's our color palette. So what we'll do is we'll just drop a little line here. We'll use the bone white for our base. We'll drop a little bit of gray. And gray is very watery, holy cow. put a little black down here. I'll actually keep these colors out. And let's grab a brush. How about you? That gray is very watery. I don't like that gray at all. Ooh, I like that better. I think this shade is going to kill the highlights, but that's okay, we'll just put them back on manually. I think it was a good move using the bone white. It kind of gives it more of a natural tinge. He's going to have white little paws. Need to clean up that hard drive, Lucrom. Maybe you and I can sit down sometime and work on it. Use up some of this gray and take the edge off of that white that's on the base right now. Put him in front of the fan for a second. All right, while that's drying, let's mix up some purple. This is definitely more on the blue side of purple. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Do 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 do. Yeah, that looks like our color. We're also going to need some brown for the leather. You can't see it too well because I painted over it a bit, but this thing has leather straps holding the saddle and the armor in place, which I thought was a neat touch by whoever modeled this. This purple is very translucent. Do 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 do. Ba do 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 do. No 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 no. Mastiffs are pretty cool little creatures in D&D. Ash has been using it as a mount since she's a halfling. But we had a half-orc paladin have one as just like an animal companion for a long while in our last game. Alright, looks like the gray is done. Let's lighten this up a little bit. Kind of want an intermediary gray. So a white tip on the tail, but let's actually just paint some highlights on here. Yeah, that looks good. And I'm just kind of doing like a really thick edge highlight. We'll let the wash pick up the rest of the highlights on here, or do like the rest of the shadows. It's starting to come together. Let's do another coat of purple. And then let's take a little bit of this white and let's make a purple highlight. We'll just kind of feather it in. All right, now let's go for our light gray. And we'll hit the spots that she wanted white with this. Then we'll wash it and then do a highlight. Dark gray with white, a white tip on the tail, white on his paws, and a white stripe down his nose. Sorry, dude, I know that IMAX been frustrating. And then a white stripe down his nose, she said? White stripe down his nose. How would a white stripe down the nose look like on a dog? I think I'm gonna have to look at reference images. Let's see here. They don't really have white stripes down their noses. They kind of have dark faces. He's got a little bit of one. Maybe we could do something like that. Yeah, I think that's probably the closest we're going to get. We'll feather it back into the gray up here. There we go. What do you think? All right, let's get us a leather. I'm thinking something lighter. This guy's pretty dark. So we'll go with leather brown. We also need to pull in some metal, and I'm thinking silver is probably going to be better. We also need to get just a regular cloth color on here. So let's just use our white for that, and then we'll put a wash on it, probably a Seraphim Sepia. And this will be for yeah. This little cloth across his back. His name's Ferdinand, by the way. There we go. Forgot about this little chest piece too, and he's got these little shin guards. This is for Asha. She's our halfling rogue. Let's go here. This is Grace's character. During her her downtime, she went back to Neverwinter. Got into some trouble trying to steal some stuff, and then ended up also buying like a Mastiff mount. Which is nice, because as a halfling, she doesn't have a lot of walking speed. Although she is a rogue, so technically she kind of does. She had the money to buy him. Okay, so that highlight is very subtle. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and wash it and then put the white back on top. Let's get some silver onto these metal parts, these metal plates. Almost done. I feel like I'm kind of rushing this mini a little bit. We got 20 minutes. I think we're going to be able to finish it tonight. All right, let's let that dry for a second. All right, now we're gonna wash them up. Wash herm up. So let's see, let's do Seraphim Sepia on the cloth on his back. Honestly, we're probably going to do the rest of him in Nuln Oil. There we go. Wish that purple was a bit more vibrant. Now we're going to come back and do some shading and some highlighting. That skips for you, Lucrum. Okay. Now let's get this white highlight on here. Just a little bit. There we go. Now I think we need to get a little bit darker here for the snout and the jowls. There he is. There's Ferdinand. Gonna hit a little bit of purple on his armor plates, just so I can see if I can bring some of that tone back out. I think it turned out pretty good. Hey, I made it with 4 minutes to spare. Not too bad. Not too bad. A night's work for feeling slightly under the weather. Feels good to have have gotten some of that stuff knocked out too. I think he turned out pretty well. He's a cool little dog. The contrast, I think, is a little lacking, but it looks a little better IRL than in the camera. I'll have to post a picture and send it to Grace. Alright, well hey, thanks for hanging out, Lucrum. Let me know if you want to do that Elgato and get a streaming set up. I'll help you any way I can. And y'all be good. We'll see you next time.